for me. Blood in my dog and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. And niggas trying to take my life away. I put a hole in a nigga for fucking with me.
Back on the R34 for part 3 of a 3-part series to manual swap an R34 Nissan Skyline using an R34 Neo 5-speed transmission. So if you watch the first part, you can see how to take the automatic out and put the manual in. The second part shows you the wiring and the pedal swap. And now I just have the last piece of the puzzle, which is the new shifter, the shift boot, the snap ring to hold the shifter in, and then I'm pretty much ready to go. I'm also gonna bolt the status reclining seats in. So here's the new R34 OEM shifter. You can see it's got a dog leg on it to fit in the factory location. So doing this swap, you do need an R34 shifter to sit properly. There's the part number for that. And then here is a, well, kind of universal OEM Nissan boot. You can see they put 2 holes on one side, so it'll work with a bunch of different applications. Pretty sure this is for 240s, 300ZX, Skylines, and all that good stuff. And there's the part number for that. And then here's the retainer ring. So once you put the shifter in, this snap ring snaps it down so it doesn't pull out. Before I put the shifter in though, I did get one more quart of fluid for the transmission. So I am gonna go ahead and pop the side plug off the transmission, the fill plug, and put in one more quart until it overflows. It's just a lot easier to put it in through the shifter assembly than it is to try to pump it up through the fill hole. All right, so you can see we get the retainer ring in, shifter's in. I just gotta slide this boot down and fasten it around here into this space. And then I can put this boot down, and then I can screw this down. Well, there you can see it all bolted down. So this, like I said, this is just a 240 ring. So confirmation that it fits just fine in all the bolt holes, and the boot fits fine. Shifter feels good. Time to put the trim on. Finishing touch on the shifter. Status full carbon shift knob. Now that the transmission's all squared away, shifter's all squared away, radio's done, bezel's in, time to take the cluster out so I can put the surround on and take the AT automatic bulb out. Well, I got all the screws and trim around here, but it's having a hard time fishing itself out with the steering wheel in. But I do have the full carbon status steering wheel to go in anyways, matching the full carbon status shifter. So I might as well take this off. Got one screw on each side of the steering wheel. It is a safety screw, so you do need like a 6-point hollow bit. Take those 2 screws off, take the center bolt and these 2 clips off, and the steering wheel pops off. And the gauge cluster pops out. You can see there's 1 clip there, 1 clip there, and 1 clip there. So I'm gonna go inside the house for a minute. Kai, what are you playing?
What?
What are you playing?
Big baller.
Big baller. Playing basketball?
Yep.
What are you doing?
Watching Kylie's entertainment.
You figuring out how to build Reese a rocket?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a bottle rocket.
All right, so I've got the R34 gauge cluster. Here's the GTT-R trim. Basically comes off in 3 pieces. So you pop the clips for this piece. That'll allow you to put the bezel trim in there. But then you pop the clips for this piece. And now you can see which bulb does what. You eating my favorite salsa?
Yep.
What are you doing?
This lady put her husband's photo in all the photo frames at Target and pranked him. He walked down the aisle and was like,
No, go back up. That chicken one.
The bulbs out that I don't need. Got the cluster trim in. So there's that piece. Just gotta snap that on. All right, cluster's all back together. What do you think, Kai?
I like that.
I'm gonna go put it in. The cluster is back in and looking good. Matches the aluminum shifter trim really nice. And I gotta bolt the status seats in now. I went ahead and put the stock steering wheel back in because I'm waiting for the hub to show up so I can put the carbon status wheel in. But I got the gauge cluster back in. Shifter's all done. Status reclining seats are mounted. They fit great. You can see the gauge cluster. No warning lights, so that's good. All the gauges work fine and none of the warning lights are on. Pretty much the last pieces of the puzzle right now is going to be the short hub, so I can put the steering wheel in. And then I do have some brand new OEM Nismo floor mats to go in. So that'll really clean up the inside. Oh yeah, and the stereo works. The only other part I'm waiting for is this cowl. So if you look, the trim piece, there's a rubber seal that goes right here, and it pretty much was halfway hanging off. You can see I have the seal here. But instead of gluing it back on, you can see the trim piece is pretty faded anyways. And I was able to find a whole brand new piece, the wiper cowl. So when that shows up, I'm gonna take the wipers off, sand these down and paint them, as well as the back one. I'll get this all nice and sanded down and painted black again with some new wiper blades. And then the exterior will be done. And then when the floor mats show up and the steering wheel hub shows up, the interior will be done. And this car will just be ready to enjoy. Just took it for a test drive and it runs and drives great. The exhaust sounds awesome too. I'll do more videos on it now that it's done, running and driving and stuff like that, but I just wanted to put an end to the 3-part series on how to manual swap one of these with an R34 Neo transmission. Super pleased, it ran great, shifted through all the gears just fine, clutch feels good. It's a new clutch, so I need to break it in, but man, I'm super excited. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. Peace.